Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin and this is Potato, who is being a torture and barking at everything. Be good. So today I wanted to make another video. I've been waiting to film this till he stops, but apparently he's just not going to stop. He's literally barking at my kids who are right outside the front door with their friend. It's like, he knows them. You live with them. Why are you barking at them? So I wanted to make another video talking about 10 more things to do instead of spending money. And yeah, I made a list the other day and I just haven't had a minute to actually share it. I am having a carrot cake bar that I made, which I will share in a little mini vlog, and some tea in a cup of sunshine 3D cup, which is now chipped like every other cup in this house because of our crazy sink that breaks everything. So number one is to read papers at the library, and I got this idea because the librarians that we know well go to the shop to get papers each day for the library, and I do see some people sitting reading them, and I just thought if you wanted to do something kind of relaxed that's away from a screen and keep up to date with things, even just flip through, it's like a kind of peaceful thing to do, and it's not just something that belongs to like elderly people. Like, you can be any age and do that, and it's just a free way to get to read the papers. You don't have to go and buy one yourself, and there's a selection of them ready, and they usually have magazines as well. It's just like an alternative to reading online or Googling, and I try to stay away from the news as much as possible, but if you want to read it, or you just want to see even like the culture section or other like food sections and things like that, it's a good way to do that. Number two is to find your best photos that you've taken in your phone. Like, even just go back over the years and look for your favorite ones and favorite them so you can find them easily, and share them on sites online, because I was looking for some photos the other day, you know, the kind that where it's basically like, you know, the kind of royalty free ones where people can upload their personal photos and people are free to use them, and it could be a really nice thing to do to share your photography with other people, and it's something that people will be really grateful for, because sometimes I find, like, for example, whenever I am making a book, you don't always have the exact photo for the cover, like just at your fingertips. Like, sometimes you have to go and search for images, and I really appreciate when people put up images that you don't have to pay for, and it's just a nice way to get your photos out into the world and share them with other people. Number three is really obvious sounding, but it's to talk to the people that you like, because I think that more and more in our society now, we're not actually talking to each other, and a lot of the exchanges we have with people we actually like or care about are very rushed or kind of put off, and I think that it can be really easy to get sidetracked with everything else going on in our lives, and to devote a lot of our time to kind of getting lost in our phones, but we're not actually connecting with other people, and we're kind of like voyeurs in a way, because you're looking at people's lives from afar, but you're not actually involved in them, and there's like no real closeness there. So I just think that kind of reconnecting with the people that you care about and making a point of like having drawn out conversations together and spending real time together, it's much more fulfilling than just being glued to a phone. And I notice more and more, it really makes me sad when I see people whose lives are literally stolen by their phone because they're just so much in its clutches. And like anyone else, I can kind of fall prey to that as well, but I just am trying to be really conscious of my phone usage, and I think that it gives you so much time back if you manage to step away from it, and you can use that time to have real connections with people. And I sometimes wish we could go back in time to before phones, because I feel like a lot of our time where we were like bored, rather than just mindlessly scrolling, we were having a lot of conversations that could actually end up being really life-changing and deep, or just funny and entertaining, and we've kind of lost that a bit. Number four is to use Pinterest like only for ideas, like to not approach it from the perspective of I've got an idea from it and now I'm gonna have to go out and buy stuff to achieve it. More just like pinning ideas and creating your own vision boards and just inspiring yourself for future projects, or just like as an uplifting thing to do, because there's just so much on it, like ideas wise, and I like the fact that people can share their creativity, and I just think it's a good way to use your time. Like, it's not the same as just wasting hours on another app. Like, I have made vision boards before where I've like printed off pictures that I've saved and made like little categories and folders on it, and then I can go back to it for inspiration. Or I've made, like, because I do like manifestation and stuff, I've made vision boards where it's like things I want to manifest that year, but I've used pictures that I found that really inspired me online and that kind of to me represent the things that I want to do that year. Number 5 is to walk and at the same time listen to a guided meditation. Hello again. And I did that the other day, and it was actually really peaceful, like, because I have a very busy brain, and I think that whenever I'm out walking, quite often I can just, my brain's kind of flooded with thoughts, and I find the process of walking like very kind of cathartic in a way. And I decided to give it a go because I'm not somebody that easily sits still and just does nothing. Like, I'm just not very good at that. Like, actually walking and listening to meditation was really peaceful, and I think you can do that yourself just with like the sounds of nature, like the bird song and things like that. But it was like a nice little change to my daily walk. And there are so many guided meditations you can find online. Number 6 is to download an app of bird sounds and use it to identify birds in your area, because you can just click it when you hear a bird singing and it will identify it for you and tell you what bird it is. And it's interesting to find out their different songs, and even just to find out which birds are in your local area, because there's a lot that, like, there's often like way more than we're even aware of. And there's actually birds in our garden at the minute eating fat balls, and I don't even know what kind of bird it is. I need to like get better at knowing what kind they are, but it makes me happy seeing them coming into the garden. Number 7 is like to sit outside with a cup of tea, and you can sit at a table and chairs if you have it, but you don't have to. Like, you can sit on a step even and just kind of daydream and look at the sky and drink your tea. And the fact that you have like a warming cup of tea even in winter, it makes it something comforting, and it's not like you're just sitting there freezing. But I used to do that a lot because I spent some time in America, and whenever I was there I spent a lot of time sitting on the porch, like just on the steps, like daydreaming. And I feel like it is a very like therapeutic activity, and you have so many thoughts that come to you that just sort of pop into your head in those moments of emptying your mind. Number 8 is to wander some back streets in your city or like local town and find little hidden gems, because I think that we can kind of all almost get like programmed into doing the same walking route all the time. But if you just change direction and go to the more hidden areas, you'll be surprised like the things that you find along the way. Because whenever I was in town the other day, I walked a lot of back streets and like little alleys and stuff, and I was surprised to find that there were like businesses there that I didn't even know existed, and like a lot of places have closed down, which makes me sad in a way, but at the same time it feels like there are more popping up finally, and it's nice to see, like, to find novelty in your own town. Number 9 is to customize your clothes in really simple ways. Like, you can get iron-on patches very cheaply. You can just change the buttons on a garment and it changes the whole look of it. I used to have an army jacket that I put like butterfly buttons on, and I felt like that just personalized the whole thing and made it look totally different, even though at that time everybody was wearing army jackets. And you can also do like embroidery on it if you're good at that, or like just practice like your sewing skills on it and add little like embellishments and just make it your own. And it's something that doesn't take a huge amount of time or like skill, but it just instantly changes your clothes and kind of gives them a fresh feel. Number 10 is to write down all of the conversations that you can remember that you've had that you want to remember because they've made you feel good. Like, think of conversations you've had throughout your life, or you know, like lines that have stayed with you that people have said, and just document them and kind of explore the conversation again in your mind and remind yourself of the positives. And like sometimes you can get real wisdom from people that you're chatting to just in a really casual way, and I think that there are lots of observations other people can make that we maybe wouldn't have made ourselves, and that tell the truth about who you are, and they make you feel better about yourself. And I just think it's nice to keep a log of those so that you don't forget them, and just to kind of, I like to reminisce about things like that because I just think all of those moments hold a lot of value and you can find a lot of truth in them. So yeah, I hope that these ideas give you some like inspiration for things to do instead of spending money. Some of them are quite almost like whimsical and not really like concrete ideas, but I feel like I'm in a mood at the minute where I want to like feed my creativity, and I think that a lot of that comes from the moments of stillness where we're like, we don't have to-do lists where you're like, okay, I have to do this and this and this. It's more like allowing time for your mind to empty and like welcome in like new thoughts and appreciate the small experiences in life. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hi again. So I just wanted to share like a mini vlog of what I've been doing the last few days, and I took Potato for a walk on the Greenway, and I just felt like the sky was really beautiful that day and where the sun was coming up, so I wanted to capture that. I made some carrot cake bars. I got the recipe from my Simple Things magazine and I decided to try it out because it just used ingredients that I already had lying around, and I seem to always buy carrots and not use them all, so it's a good way to use them up. I'm the only person in the household that actually likes these, but more for me. I might have to freeze some actually because it made quite a lot and they're quite filling. And yeah, I just found the process of making something new that I hadn't baked before really therapeutic, and it just kind of intrigued me when I saw it in the magazine. And they're very like orangey and carroty, but there's no flour, it's like oats in it, so it feels healthier. I don't know if it is. And yeah, there's just something about kind of like zesting oranges and the smell that kind of emanates from them that makes me feel happy, and I think maybe that's why I have done a couple of paintings of oranges, like really vibrant ones, because I just find them to be like such a cheerful fruit to look at and to smell. My partner was off at the time and he was playing games, so it was like a nice little kind of change of pace to go into the kitchen and make something. And I had some loose leaf rose chai that my mum got me for Christmas, so yeah, I was having tea while I made it, and I had to make like a syrup type thing and then mix it with the oats and raisins and nuts, and there were lots of ingredients, but I had them all like sitting around. And I love making granola bar type things because I find it really satisfying, like pressing it into the tin before it goes in the oven, and there's just something about it that kind of calms my mind. And I think when you're using your hands but you don't have to think too hard, it's sort of healing to your mind as well. And yeah, they came out really well. My kids both tried them and didn't like them, and my partner didn't even try them. This is another walk with Potato, and he was so excited about finding this little like branch, so I just wanted to capture that because I love how happy he is whenever he's carrying something in his mouth, and it reminds me to appreciate the little things and that joy can be found in the simplest things in life. And I decided to use one of the large canvas that I got, and I wanted to paint a pizza, and I kind of went back and forth about whether I wanted to do like a kind of imaginary like pastel one or a more realistic one, and I ended up kind of opting for a realistic one, but kind of with putting my own spin on it. And I love painting so much, and sometimes like it takes me a while to motivate myself to get set up for it, which is kind of silly because it only takes minutes, but in my mind sometimes it feels like a huge hurdle to get over. But when I'm actually doing it, it just quietens my mind, and I could do it like forever. Like I just love it so much. And I have been finding recently that I'm preferring painting to writing. I don't know if I'm just not in the mood to write at the minute, but when I try to get into writing a book, it feels quite fragmented, and like I can't really get myself going with writing, but maybe it's just a time like for painting instead, and I just find it really soothing, and it's kind of like a form of meditation for me. I have started writing a book, which is a sequel to one that I put out last year, and I am enjoying it when I'm doing it, but I think I'm just finding it difficult for some reason to find the time at the minute to fully immerse myself in it. And I think that a big part of it actually is that I haven't been going for coffee as often, because although it's a habit I wanted to break this year, and I feel like I have successfully done that, the daily visits that I kind of made to the coffee shop were almost like my work time, and it made me like basically stop faffing about and get down to writing. And I would always hit my word count every day when I was there, and to me it was kind of like going into a little office, and without that I find that I'm not as, potato snoring in the background by the way, wanting to get into writing as much. And maybe it's also because there are so many distractions at home, and I look around the room and I'm like, oh, I need to put that laundry away, or like I need to do those dishes, and there's just always something to be done at home. But if you're in a cafe, obviously you don't have that, because it's not your home and it's not your responsibility to keep the place clean, and it's like a little mental holiday in a way. So I am just thinking about how to create that environment at home for myself where I feel like I actually can work on books in the same way. If you have any ideas, feel free to let me know. And I'm not finished with the pizza painting yet, but this is it so far, and I'm going to do a bright background as usual too, and I'm enjoying the process. This morning I took the girls and Potato for a walk at a place near where we live called Billy Neal Playing Fields, and they have like pitches and things for like, there were several football matches while we were there, but there's also like a lake and lots of ducks, and we took Potato for a walk a couple of times around the lake. There was a moody sky, but it didn't come to anything, like it didn't start raining while we were there, and it was pretty busy. Like there were lots of dogs about, which is perfect for Potato because he likes to say hi to every dog and he's very sociable. And my daughter got me to take some pictures of the birds that were there because her teacher had been asking everybody to get photos of birds from the big British bird watch. So I think it was a white heron, but you can tell me if you know that it's something else. And then we just got a drink from the coffee van and had it in the car looking out the window, and it was just lovely and peaceful. So I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.